Welcome to another edition of Vigorously with me, Val Kleinhands. Very, very much an Italian episode today, so the hands are going to be flying. I'm just preparing everybody right now. It's going to happen. Welcome, Veronica from Fleshgod Apocalypse. I am so thrilled to have you. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm so good. Like I said, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to talk to somebody, but I know that clearly being Italian American is totally different than being an Italian national. It's
There's
not
a
the same thing.
connection. That's a plus. That's a plus.
It's a plus. There's a kid, not quite the same. I get it, but like there definitely is a connection. There's a lot in common. You're from the part of it. I think you're from a little bit further north from where my family, my roots come from, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm from the center. So the region where I was born and I've
Yeah.
always lived is Umbria. So it's basically like between Rome and Florence. It's like in the
Mhm.
middle.
Oh, got it. Okay. And mine, I think, is a little bit more South Central, I guess I'd call it.
Yeah.
Abruzzo. Like I've heard, and please give me the tea on this because I'm not sure. I've never been to Italy. I've heard that that part of Italy is very like mountainous, a lot of farm, and now it's kind of been turned into like a ski resort, and that's what people are doing.
Abruzzo is my second favorite region actually, because my first,
Really?
my very favorite is my region, obviously. But my second favorite is Abruzzo because we as Umbrian people from Umbria,
Hmm.
we consider it Umbria with the sea. Like
Mm.
you have a beautiful sea there. Food is as delicious as our food. You
Yeah.
have mountains, you have a lot of natural parks. It's incredibly good. It's a bit
Oh,
like wild if you pass me the term, but I mean, I like it. I love the fact that it's a bit wild. You just drive into this amazing countryside and hills and mountains. It's very suggestive. You just go there and you can, enjoy the sunset going on a fucking, oh, sorry,
you could,
freaking on,
yeah, go ahead. It's
okay,
okay. It's okay.
on the sea just by standing like on top of a mountain, and it's,
Wow.
yeah, that's beautiful.
Okay, I need to get there someday. I need to get there someday. That's official. So, growing up with Italian parents, you're going to understand this. They're pretty traditional. And they like to stay as traditional as possible.
Yeah.
I read this about you. When you first got started singing, you were kind of a little bit nervous to tell them about your interest in singing. Is that because of what I can imagine? They want to be sustainable, get the money, or is it, was that the concern? Because when I got into radio,
Basically.
that was my dad's concern. So is that why
No,
you?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Very old fashioned. I mean, my mom, I have a very, very young mom. She had me when she was 22. So we
Mm,
are, I mean, we've always been very close.
mhm,
We still are. My dad wasn't even like a very present person in my
mhm.
family, but whenever it was trying to be or not trying to be present anyway, and anytime it was there, he wanted to put pressure on the fact that I should have gotten a job and stop with
Mm.
the university, don't even try, just just go to a factory and just make money, because
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
what's important in life.
Right.
My mom on the other side, a little bit, behind the curtains. She was supporting me, but I
Oh,
had
good.
to. I don't know. I feel like at the time I felt it was the right choice to hide the fact that I was taking lessons from my parents.
Mhm.
But nowadays, I'm 37, so like it was
Okay, we're
23
the same age.
years ago, something, something like that. Nowadays, I feel like I'm a mature woman, I probably have the feeling that if I say that, it would have been okay. Probably a little bit of, I don't know, they would have shut some doors at some point, but then
Mm.
eventually they would have, felt
Yeah.
okay. I'm talking mostly about my father because my mother, she always was supportive.
Hmm.
And whenever she knew that I wanted to, walk a path, she knew that I was pretty sure of myself. So she knew that I'm not saying that I would have accomplished something, but that it was worth it to try.
Got it. So when did Dad get on board? Is it the Pocahontas cover, or is it like you're showing him that, hey, this is something I'm taking seriously?
Well,
I love that.
I went to the high school and I was one of the very few people at my age that from a very small village would take a bus and ride the bus for roughly an hour, 50 minutes to
Mm,
go to the high school. So I was going like all my friends that I grew up with, they were going um to the high school in the same city they were born. But I decided to leave because I felt a little bit, it was very narrow and I needed like something wider for me
mhm.
to grow as a person. So I went to the art school and it was quite far from where I lived, but I decided it and my mom supported me. My dad was like,
Mm.
yeah, whatever. But and I took advantage of the bus ride twice, three three times a month
Mhm.
to hide from my parents and just go and drive a bit more, like 1 hour and a half, and go and take lessons. So after 3 years, I got back home one day and I was like, Mom, Dad, do you remember every time I told you that I was going to my friend and, study and, do projects and stuff? Well,
Mm.
most of the times I wasn't sure. This is my graduation paper and I graduated and I'm also, I'm a singer now. So I guess
Wow.
I did it. And I was turning 17. So technically I was 16 by the time.
Got it. Okay, so that when you get the official, there is something about the paper and putting it on like a resume or something too.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes it click for them. I
But
love that.
papers don't always, they don't mean a thing if you don't want to pursue the path. But
Right.
sometimes when you have like parents or family members that don't really believe in you, they're like, okay, you know what? I believed in myself, and this is a proof.
Hmm.
So now let me do what I really like. I'll, try to sustain myself, try to, earn money, and I'm not gonna ask you anything. Even though my mom, she always supported me, even
Of course.
financially, because they want to see their kids being happy and
Yeah.
do what they love the most. So yeah.
Yeah. That's I love that. That I relate to a lot of that. So, but you're doing all of this. I mean, the Pocahontas cover is awesome, by the way. Just because as a Disney fan, I appreciated that, and an Opeth fan saw that too. So we're
Thank
working
you.
on those things. Eventually, Flesh God comes into the picture, and in the background, you're doing all of this in multiple languages: English, Italian, and Swedish. You are multilingual. So, what are some of your tips just for learning a different language and retaining it?
Well, starting from the Swedish language, I've always been a huge, huge fan. I always grew a huge love for Sweden, for the country, for the
Mhm.
people, for the mentality, for everything, everything. So I decided to move there when I found my, ex-boyfriend. I lived there for roughly 5 years.
Oh, okay.
I had the time of my life. I left a piece of my heart there. It didn't end up as, I wanted to, but I got back home. I'm a happily married woman now with an
Mhm.
Italian man, my best friend. So I'm a
Aw.
happy ending for me, which is what I really wanted.
Hmm.
But by the time there, I realized that what I thought I loved, I loved. Is there a word to say more than love? Because I don't know. Like
Obsessed.
I was, yeah.
Obsessed.
I
That's the word I
realized
would
that I
use.
was obsessed with their language.
Hmm.
Something that really helped me, because a lot of people told me that even though it was like a few months that I was living there, I speak a really my few words that made kind of a
Hmm.
sense. I they were like I spoke a really good Swedish, like the
Oh,
pronunciation
okay.
was good. And a lot of people told me on my comment section in YouTube, on whatever social medias. I learned this trick actually self-taught, because this is something that I learned from voice lessons, like
Mm.
vocal hygiene, basically. That's how it's called. But I just emulated the sound that I transformed in my head. I have a really odd, way of thinking and seeing
I'm
the world,
following. Yeah, I'm following.
but
Like it's
I
this the
I hope
sound
it'll
kind of
make
mimics the
sense.
words. Yeah. The
I hope it'll make
sounds.
sense. The sounds,
Hmm.
they the sounds are songs to me. They're like more than just sounds. They're like music. So
Tones.
every language has its own music, and when spoken. So as Italian is a really,
Oh yeah,
um,
we love our tone. Yeah.
colorful music. Let's say that. Let's put it this way. Swedish had its own. So I try to, emulate the sound, the waves that in my head were, shaping up when people talk to me. And I
Mhm.
try obviously to talk to people who were speaking a very good academic Swedish,
Mhm.
because you can find people, but as an Italian, I'm an Italian person who sometimes, most of the time, try to speak, you know, speaks a fluent. I'm not saying dialect, but yeah, like when we're with my friends or my husband, I don't speak an academic Italian, but
I
if
got it.
someone, if I'm talking to someone who's not from my region, for example, I try to.
Hmm.
I try. So that's my tip. Same with Japanese. That's something that I don't speak.
That's
I don't
hard.
speak Japanese, but I've listened to so many people talking Japanese, speaking Japanese, talking to me and stuff. And that's why I recorded the cover from Neon Genesis Evangelion. And a lot of Japanese people told me, "Do you speak Japanese? Because I didn't know that you were speaking Japanese." No, I have no idea. I mean, I know what I sang, but
Hmm.
because I learned the, translation afterwards, but I don't know.
Yes. But it sounds like the biggest piece of all this is nailing the tone and the inflection. That's
Yeah,
what's giving this that's what's giving everybody else, the native speakers, the perception
exactly.
that
Yeah.
you know what you're doing. I love that. I love that. And there is something to be said for speaking with confidence. Well, speaking with confidence and singing with confidence like you would if you know the tones. That is beautiful. So
Yeah, the
anybody,
tones.
yeah, anytime I meet somebody that I know is multilingual, I have to ask, when you have your own thoughts, your own inner monologue, is it in English? Is it Italian? Is it in what language is it in?
It depends if it depends how relaxed I am.
Mm,
If I'm totally relaxed, I just think and count, which is, one of the basics in the language that I'm speaking. If I'm like right now, I'm extremely relaxed. I have to be honest.
good.
Um, but so thank you for
Good.
making me feel very comfortable. But when I don't know, when I caught off guard or I'm not really feeling like, speaking another language, but I have to, obviously.
Mhm.
I tend to, the mechanism that like triggers in my head, like, okay, let's think in the language that you know and that you translate it. And I'm like, okay,
Right.
let's translate it.
I see. Okay.
Which is wrong, because sometimes, we have a lot of false friends words. We call them false friends. So like fattoria, factory, but it's not the same thing. Fattoria is farm, factory is factory. So
Mhm.
that's an example, but we have a shit lot of words that resemble to, other words in another language, but they're
Yes. Yes.
completely different.
I mean, just before we hopped on chat, I said "cómo está," and I know in Spanish it's "cómo se llama" or "cómo
¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo
cómo
estás?
cómo estás." That's right.
¿Cómo se llama is what's your name?
What's your name? Yeah, 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 yeah. And then, oh, what is it? It's "cómo." What is it in Italian? What's your name in Italian is "com." It's not "cómo stai," but it's "cómo." It's similar.
It's very similar to same as Spanish. ¿Cómo te llami?
"Cómo ti chiami?" Okay. Or "cómo se llama?" I've heard "cómo se llama."
¿Cómo se llama is third person. So if you're asking me how someone else is called.
Oh,
But
okay.
if I'm talking to you and I want to know your name, come ti chiami?
Come ti chiami. Okay, see, never being in Italy, I wouldn't have known that because I'm getting the Italian American version, which is
Yeah.
which is completely different. But to the point, that's when I caught on to how similar other languages really can be, and how close it is, and how, mindful that you have to be of that, because one word can mean something completely different to somebody else, or it could mean the same thing, and you just have to watch it.
Yeah. You want to know
So,
something cool and actually pretty sometimes embarrassing for someone who doesn't speak English or someone who doesn't speak some Anglophone who doesn't speak Italian. Especially, I actually found myself caught in between two people trying to communicate, and I'm like, in the middle of trying to translate in a video game. We were talking,
oh yeah,
and we had to sprint and push on attacking someone else. And the person who was in the team with me is Italian, and he was saying "die, die, die," which means come on, hurry up, come on, push on.
yeah.
And the other one, why do you want me to die? I'm on your side. And I'm like, no, 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 wait, guys, wait, guys. So if you hear Italian people and they have like a relaxed face saying die, they don't
You're
necessarily
right.
mean die.
Right. But I see how that's taken that way. That is so funny. So what game are you playing when this is happening? I have to know.
Mostly our creators right now with my friends. They're so into it, but it can happen with any other survival horror shit that we play together. Just,
Yes. I love that. I don't know if you are, but I'm counting down for GTA 6. Counting down for Grand Theft Auto
Oh,
6. Hopefully soon, but we never really know. It's been so back and forth.
it's soon-ish.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Ish.
What was your most satisfying victory in a video game?
Oh my goodness. Probably a pentakill in League of Legends.
Oh, okay.
Which is very hard to get, especially when people, um, when because you never know who your teammates are or how skilled they are. I don't consider myself a skilled player. I like to play games and
Yeah.
I try to pay attention not to make, silly mistakes, but it can happen. But, I don't like when people like try to sabotage your own game. So in League of
Right.
Legends, it's very, very, it happens very often that, people just come to your team and just sabotage because I don't
I
know
know.
even why.
I don't know
I
why
don't,
either, but World of Warcraft is what, like, I still watch those Leroy Jenkins memes where the guy
yeah.
rolls in and Leroy Jenkins. We're like, no, Leroy, you ruined it. You ruined it.
Yeah.
I
But
still,
yeah,
I still catch
pentakill
it.
are one of the probably most satisfying things for a League of Legends or even like Heroes of the Storm
Mhm.
players. So that for sure.
What was the first game that got you into gaming at all?
Oh, as a like a viewer, I was watching. I was very, very young. I was a kid actually. I was
Mhm.
watching my grandparents' neighbor's son playing Doom.
Oh, Doom. Okay, good.
And I
Yeah.
fell in love with it. And then I started playing myself later because after a few years, because, PC back in the days, you said you're my age. So you
Yeah,
know
it was better.
how
Yeah.
expensive they were for, for the times. And I think I had my first PC when I was 15
Hmm.
probably, and it was for studying purposes.
Yeah.
I had to do my research as mom, so I need the PC. But
Right.
do we need the, internet connections? Of course we do. Of
Yes.
course we do.
Yes.
Of course.
We need to
And
play The Sims. We need to play Roller Coaster Tycoon.
oh my goodness. I
Yes.
recently bought a roller coaster tycoon package with like five of them. Only no, I know that I'm gonna be playing just one, the first one, but
Right.
um yeah. But it was like $3 for 8 or 5 games. So I was like, yeah, just give it to me. Give
Absolutely.
it to me. And the Sims
Absolutely.
don't even get me started with the Sims. I have a thing. I have
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah. I remember being horrified by when I killed my first sim on accident by forgetting to put the ladder in the pool. But I forgot to put a ladder in the pool, and I didn't plan it, but once I realized that could happen, it like scarred me. I was so careful. every time.
Yeah, and you have the little tombstone next to the
Yeah,
pool, and you
yeah.
every time. Yeah.
It was a time. It was so good.
They
Uh,
learn eventually not to use, they can actually climb up without using the ladder
do
on the
they?
fourth. Yeah, I think they implemented in the Sims 3, I
Oh,
think.
okay. See, I kind of stopped after I stopped after a couple years, so I didn't keep up with it. But it just and PC gaming has changed since then.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's just you need a completely different setup now.
You need
It's
money now.
yeah, well,
Thank you, Bitcoin. Thank you,
yeah.
AI. Now we need a shitload of money. Just,
Yeah.
we can afford a
Yeah.
graphic card.
Yeah, it's completely different, but I would love to get back into it someday. So going back, so just switching back to the vocal part and talking about vocals. When Fleshgod approaches you about taking on vocals, knowing your own vocal capability, did you immediately feel like it was a good fit and it was an immediate yes, I want to join, or was there some hesitation?
No hesitation at all. I mean, we knew in our very small village, town, whatever,
Mhm.
we knew Flash God because, I mean, Italian pride, but also Umbrian pride, from my
I see.
region.
Okay.
It's a very small region, the one that I live. So one of the smallest that we have in Italy. And I knew them because back in the days I was playing with my first band, and the drummer, my best friend Giulio, he's uh, Flesh God Apocalypse Francesco Ferrini, Flesh God
Hmm.
Apocalypse piano brother, so
I see.
step brother, but yeah, brother. So he introduced me to them. They wanted to know me. They came to some of our shows,
Okay, I get it.
in a bar, in a pub,
Right.
with 15, 25, 30 people. Oh my goodness, that's a shitload of people.
Yeah,
Yeah. And we got paid with, pizzas and a beer, but
that's enough. That's enough.
enough, 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 more than enough. Hey, thanks to that pizza and that beer, I got a chance to show what I got to people that actually wanted me to join their band. And they asked me if I wanted to. Firstly, they asked me if I wanted to record a few things for their new album, which was Agony. I said, yeah, of course. I've never been in a professional, situation where, I
Mm,
had to actually study something, that you had a record label behind it paying for recordings, or, giving you an advance for videos, something that after, a few months became reality
yeah.
for me. But they asked me to join for a few songs, and that's when I recorded the Egoism and the intro of Agony. Yeah. After that, they just wanted to wait for the crowd and for the management response,
Mm,
because
mhm.
they were going a little bit undertow. Like they were, fighting against the infrastructure of the management and what it was going, what the hype was about. And it wasn't
Right, right,
about
right.
putting a female vocalist in a death metal record. So they just, they fought a lot to have me there, and I'm still very grateful for that. And after a while, everybody realizes that it was the good choice, the best choice to put a female vocalist there.
Mhm.
Then they asked me to join the band for tours, for actual touring, and it was a few months later,
Mhm.
and I accepted, and here I am.
And and here we are looking fabulous as ever because I love the makeup and the time that it takes.
Thank you.
It's obvious that you put time into a look. I mean, which is a very Italian thing to do. But so we'd be doing it anyway. But we love a look, and we will spend time on a look. And clearly, you're into it personally, professionally, makeup. Uh,
Thank
do
you.
you have any favorites that you use personally or on stage? Like any favorite makeup
Makeup
prompt?
white. Oh,
Hmm.
for my stage makeup, I love I use a lot of Glisten cosmetics. I
Okay.
wish I could show you. I recently moved to our new house that my husband and I bought. So I don't really want to show you unless you're like, you like horror movies, but
Yeah, we do.
there's boxes and stuff, and but
Yeah.
I usually have it like right next to me because I try, for every tour I try to study a little bit and apply makeup with webcam and see if
Hmm.
it works or doesn't work. So I like to study for more different concepts every time. But I don't have it right here. But yeah, Gleason Cosmetics is my go-to when it comes to color powder to fix the makeup, because they
Hmm.
have this amazing colored powder. I use the red and the black,
Yeah.
and I use their red mascara. It is
Mm.
so pigmented, it's so good.
Yeah.
And for the greasy base, oily base, which is actual the actual makeup that I put on before
Hmm.
fixing it. It's Creolan, I think. The
Hmm.
one of the most famous in theater and music
I
makeup.
see. Okay.
Mostly that. VE Cosmetics also. I use VE Cosmetics. VE Cosmetics, yes.
Right. How much of being from your specific region of Italy, because I know on the cover of Opera, it's you, but you're looking very natural at the same time too. And you're like, so how much of being, and that's kind of that album is kind of a little bit, correct me if I'm wrong, kind of diving into some Italian stories, a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I was just curious as to how much your part of Italy and where you come from, how much of that goes into the visuals and making sure the visuals look the way you want them to look and you're representing your region.
Most of it, because as I said, we grew up in a region where I have the feeling I don't want to be stab my region in the back, but unfortunately we are a little bit behind compared to other regions.
In what ways?
Cultural
Okay.
and well, infrastructures,
Mm.
you name it, a lot of ways. So if you think about that, that's easy. If you think about a region as an Italian person, you think about a region. My region is not the first one that pops in your mind, even though we
Oh,
have
okay.
probably the best food. We're very well known for wine, for olive oil,
Hmm.
for truffle. But this like gastronomic journey that you can have here, and you can tell the story of our region.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
we are not very we never had good leaders that wanted to put money and invest in culture, basically.
Mm.
Even though
Okay.
we have beautiful theaters, but they never wanted to spend money on it because they thought that art was just, something like the cherry on top, but there's no
Yes.
cake, it's not the
Yes.
cake, it's not yeah, basics. So I feel that opera really represents what we try, the decadent part of uh, this side of our, not region, but our area, I would say,
Hmm.
because our region suffered a lot. Now it's going back, to where it should be. But
Hmm.
it's very hard for us. It's been very hard for us to keep up with other regions. So I feel that when the two Francescos, when Francesco, mostly Paoli, thought of the concept,
Hmm.
he put his personal story, what happened to him, the accident, the climbing accident, he almost died, and this journey of his of thinking about what what would you have, what will you have once you're not here anymore?
Mhm.
And art is what preserves. Art is what, stays there forever.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why opera itself,
Hmm.
I think, gathers all of these fears, all of these being proud of your roots, and the certainty that art has always been there as
Hmm.
long as there's someone to pursue.
Hmm.
And as long as even just one person out of 1,000 pursues, art is going to be there. Even though, you don't have financially, resources, even though you don't want to invest in it, even though you you're afraid of it, because people who love art, they are more educated, they're more scholared, they're more like, instructed to they are
Interesting.
pushed to, to know more.
Yeah.
And ignorance is something that has always been, I don't want to go really into too deep into this. I'm not saying anything politics, but about politics, but
Hmm.
an ignorant person is easy to manipulate. So
Mm.
I understand on their side when, they don't want people to be instructed, to be, to have an instruction to go, not to go to school, but, to have like more interest than just going to work and go back home and feed the babies and that's it.
Right. That okay, so that answers a lot of just personal questions I've had about my own family history. It really does, just because I even us as Italian Americans, they are still very about the region, and they're still very much work first. Work
Yeah.
first. What I'm doing would have been is considered creative in their eyes.
Yeah.
And that raises some questions. But at the same time, I didn't realize that even in Italy, because even here in the States, they still are very proud, or at least they say, we're Abruzzes. We're Abruzzes, and that means something. And to them, they define it as, no, we're supposed to be hardworking, and, and that's what it means to be from our
Yeah.
area. And that plays into how we interact, how we view things, like how we view things like art. So you're kind of healing a little bit of trauma for me right now. Like, I'm starting to understand.
I'm
I'm
glad.
I am like I'm kind of starting to understand where some of that came from and why all those questions came my way years ago. It's really interesting, because I don't, if somebody isn't Italian American, if they're not an Italian national, anybody outside the culture, I don't think they understand those types of perceptions, the macho culture that it can sometimes be, and they don't understand the regional pride either,
Yeah.
and how they want to be specific about that too. It's a lot to take in, it's a lot to digest. So I absolutely understand the gaming and the playing with makeup to like relax.
Yeah.
I completely get that. So when it comes to the makeup, I'm just going to ask, is it more for you? Is it more about the technique, or about having the specific products that will do a particular job?
I think both equal. It goes like 50% and 50, oh, and 50%. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I also have a tiny lisp, if you didn't notice, but so it's
I,
very hard for me to. Oh no, it's tiny, tiny
yeah, I didn't
things.
notice.
Yeah, no, no. I promise. I promise. I promise. I do. But yeah, 50% product, 50% technique. Because, every product has its own formula, every product has its own technique
Okay.
that you have to test it on yourself.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I have a different technique for each product that I have, because I know every single one, how they work, how they blend, if they blend.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think it's half and half probably.
Is there a particular makeup trend you feel has aged the worst? For me, it's the 2016 eyebrows. It's the big old eyebrows. Like that to me, I'm like, I would
That
never again. But
that and I'm afraid to see that now is coming back, unfortunately.
yeah.
That and the darker lip line,
Yeah, the
the
90s lip liner. Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
like the
like
goth, like
darker and like they even put like oh my God, they used to put concealer instead of
right, we did, yeah.
lip gloss instead of, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're guilty. We Britney Spears on in the background, and this is what we're getting ready with at 12 years old.
Britney
Oh yeah.
Spears and Gwen Stefani. Gwen Stefani was very
Yes.
good and, dark lip line and very light shade
Yeah.
lipstick
I totally understand that.
that I couldn't like. No.
So, I mean, makeup and horror also go hand in hand. You alluded to being a horror fan. We could definitely chat about that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think, or let's start here. What was the first horror movie that actually scared you?
Nightmare on Elm Street, probably.
Really? Okay, so what that movie kind of like it spooked me too, only because Freddie talked and he was saying like
Um,
I paid too much attention to what was coming out of that man's mouth, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm not trying to." All I saw up to that point was like the slashers where they're not talking.
oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know
No,
what I
no, no.
mean?
To me, it was I don't. I'm sorry, fans of Nightmare on Elm Street. I loved it. I think I have this trauma, and it's one of those movies that if we're like in a movie party, like with friends coming
Hmm,
over,
hmm, hmm,
popcorn and stuff, I would watch it and I would watch it with passion.
hmm.
But if I'm like, Home Alone, not because I'm scared, because I really love horror movies. But I don't know, I have that I think I still feel that feeling that I got when I was 13. I think I was 13 and
Okay.
I loved to stay up till late, even though my parents didn't want me to.
Yeah.
And I was watching TV. I remember it was Wednesday. So on Wednesday evening, Wednesday nights, around 11 or midnight, they were broadcasting horror movies
Hmm.
during summertime. So I didn't have an excuse to go to bed early because I didn't have school the day after. And I remember this particular scene. I can't remember which nightmare it was, but I remember this kid laying on the bed
Yeah.
and Freddy that like,
Right.
rips his chest from
Hmm.
the it was like obviously it was hiding under the
Hmm.
bed, and I remember his hand
Yeah.
popping out of the chest with his heart,
Yes.
with the kid's heart in his hand.
Yeah.
And that I just remember that. I don't remember anything else.
Yeah.
That
Oh
was
my God.
my very first approach with a horror
Yeah.
movie. And
Yeah.
later on I just grew, a passion for it. And I even have a huge tattoo on my leg with my favorite horror movie,
Which is what?
sci-fi horror, Aliens.
Oh, Alien. Okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
That's one that's still on my list. I'm still working. I'm kind of a newer horror fan, so I'm still kind of working my way through it. But there's some of the horror movies that I kind of followed like as they came out and as I got older. Like for me, Blair Witch was, I mean, nothing else compares to it. It's
Oh my
it's
goodness,
so
yeah.
good. To me, you don't have those found footage horror movies without Blair Witch. So I give it a lot of respect.
Agree.
And yeah, and that's one of the first ones that really made me think and like actually made me it messes with your mind after.
Yeah,
That
because
one,
you have to overthink a little bit. And I'm an overthinker. Like I have the
yes.
badge of the best overthinker ever. So you have this high tension the whole movie, but you never seen her, you never
Yeah.
see her, you just hear her. And you can feel the tension of every single character of the
Mhm.
movie. Can we spoiler it? What happened at
Yeah, I
like
think so.
because
It's been
the
it's been out for over 20 years. I think so.
so the very last scene, I don't think, do you ever see, you never see her. You never
No,
see
you
the
never
witch,
see the witch,
but
but the last scene is
they
the guy in the corner.
yeah, the guy, all of them, three of them in the
Yeah.
corners, like looking at the corners, like, and you don't understand at first, and then blank, and you
Right.
go like,
What
wait a
happened?
minute. Oh no, they were facing the corner. That means that she got them.
Yeah, it was it you or it's just kind of left to interpretation. There's no clear
Yeah, but
yeah.
so it was real. So
Hmm.
she was there, you know, and oh, hey, do you remember the hand
Yeah.
touching the tent, the camping tent?
Right, right, right. Uh-huh.
They were like pushing and they were like inside trying to, trying
Mhm.
to escape. That like
That's spooky.
these, yeah, very spooky. More than a horrific giant puppet that, a monster.
Right. Those
Those
ones.
are the kind of movies that really stick, here.
Yeah.
They just stay there and you can't get rid of.
They do. No, the one that actually terrified me and to this day will still make me I will not look at a mirror if it's dark. Like because I don't the skeleton key. I'm talking about the skeleton key. I don't know if you know this movie, but
Uh, we probably have, do you mind if I Google it? Because unfortunately, we have different names with different titles.
oh, probably. Okay. So
This,
it's called in English it's The Skeleton Key. And it's a Kate Hudson movie from like 2005. And what happens in it is she is a hospice nurse that takes a job taking care of a man who is sick in Louisiana. And the wife is old, she can only do so much. But what you start to find out is that they tie it to American history with slavery, and
okay.
they start to find out that there's some voodoo involved, there's some body switching involved. Like I'm not spoiling anything. Again, this is
Yeah,
another
yeah,
one
yeah.
that's been out for over 20 years. Come on, if you haven't watched it, like that's your own fault. But it's but what spooked me about that movie was seeing yes, that's the one. That's the one. What spooked me about it was you would see the ghosts of the slaves that were tortured, you would see them in the mirror, and that was part of what continually happened in the movie. And I was like, I don't want to find anybody in my mirror. I don't want any voodoo happening in this house. I don't know about this. Like I'm not particularly religious or superstitious, but I don't want to test it is kind of how I look
Voodoo,
at it.
voodoo is actually is real. I mean, lots of people, lots of tribes back in the days, and even nowadays, they still do it. So it's scary. It's something that you can think of.
Yeah.
You don't have to overthink about it. You just know that it's a thing. So it
Yeah.
messes with your head a little
It
bit.
does. And well, and I think
Yeah.
particularly for an American, it plays on the racism. It does. It
Yeah.
does. It plays on that and it plays on that fear that they want you to have of anybody that's different than you.
Yeah.
And they play that up in in the movie too, which of course I don't agree with, but I that spooked me when I'm seeing them in the mirrors and they're popping up and I'm like, all right, I don't want to mess with anybody's religion, I don't want to mess with anybody's practice, I don't want anything to do with anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
I'm neutral here. I don't
Yeah.
mind anything.
Nuh-uh. If you
Just
want to
love me. Just spare me.
well, and the worst part is if you think about it, Kate Hudson, that's kind of was Kate Hudson's like that was her character's attitude in the beginning. She's like, I'm just here to help someone.
Yeah.
I'm a hospice nurse. Like I'm just truly just here to take care of you and do good. And what screws me up about that movie is if you pay attention, you see that it doesn't matter how good of a person you are, you can still fall into chaos. You can still
Yeah.
fall into somebody else's plan for you and like external forces that are just happening around you. That's what scares me about that movie.
Yeah. That and also Paranormal Activity. I remember when it came out,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
was in shock.
Hmm.
I couldn't sleep because that was so well made, and the fact that it's, webcams in the house made it so real. I think that's, when movies started crossing that line,
Hmm.
that and Rec. I don't know if you remember Rec.
No, I don't think I saw
It's a
Wreck.
Spanish. You have to watch Rec.
Okay.
It's based on, basically it's a reporter, a Spanish reporter, and she wants to, she wants to do that, a night at the, a night. What was America has it? We don't have it, but when you go to school with someone, when you go to work with someone for a day, like a
Uh-huh.
day at work with. a day at work with your father, a day at work with your mother, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And she
Take your
does
daughter to
this
work
thing
day,
like,
or yeah.
yeah, something like that. So
Okay.
a day at work, but it was a night shift. So a night at work with the firefighters.
Mm,
And they received this call of a violent person in this building. And apparently there's, when they get there, I'm not going to spoil or anything, but they see like that they notice that all the whole building, which it was about like 5 or 7 stories building, it's sealed with from the outside with this plastic wrap. So
okay.
they don't know what's going on, and they have to go in and check for this violent thing going on, and blah blah blah, and
Hmm.
everything is like the Blair Witch Project. So
Yeah.
you watch the whole movie through the cameraman camera. So
Okay.
yeah, the
Okay.
steady cam. So it's cool. It's
That
cool.
sounds up my alley. Okay, we're gonna add that to the list. Does performing live scare you? Does anything scare you?
Yeah,
All the above. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. More than a horror movie. Going on stage is my horror movie, probably. No, 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 not in that. No, if you say like this, it sounds like a terrible thing. No, no, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love performing live, but
Right. But
I
there's
am
nerves.
I am a very anxious person. I used to suffer from panic attacks and
Mm,
anxiety. So performing on stage at first didn't help me
hmm
because I was living the thing in the wrong way.
hmm
But I'm going to therapy. I went to therapy, and I started realizing and learning how to funnel all this anxiety into trying to do the good thing for you. So I go on stage. I'm not afraid to say that I go on stage for myself.
hmm
I sing for myself, and I'm glad that people get that, and they are, fan of what I do. They're fan of how genuine I sound, because I started not, I stopped acting after a while,
hmm
and that probably comes with maturity and with experience probably. And I started doing things for myself that make me feel alive, that make me feel worth it in a way. People know that, and I still have a lot of anxiety going on stage, but just because I feel like not that I'm not enough, but fucking some things up is part of the
It
life.
happens. Yeah.
It happens. It what makes life live.
hmm
But I'm very hard on myself sometimes.
Oh
So I
yeah.
get that anxiety comes with, being hard on yourself, and just, you fucked that thing up. You know how to do that. And why did you fuck it up?
Oh
So,
god. Yeah.
and for a singer, is not like like an instrument player. It just, if you're having a bad day, your singing will be shitty. If you're
Mm,
having, I don't know, if you're having like thoughts, or I don't know, you argue with someone, or you just don't feel comfortable about something that someone said, or you feel that, that particular person looked you in the wrong way, you kind of, you have this grudge inside your body on top of your shoulders. And
hmm
me as an overthinker, I tend to punish myself by thinking about it, even though I shouldn't when I'm on stage.
Yeah.
But in the past few years, I started, learning how to get rid of these bad emotions, or worst case, just put every single emotion, good or bad, in, because every emotion is good, even the bad ones. I mean, we don't have to be afraid to, feel bad
Right.
or feel sad, or oh my God, I'm punching things. But you see,
I understand what you mean. No, but I
the
understand I absolutely understand what you mean. I'm grateful. That is kind of one of the things that I'm grateful for growing up Italian American, because I was in a house where I could be that expressive and it was okay.
yeah.
I could, you
you
know what I
you weren't
mean?
punching microphones though.
I mean, well, I was knocking over drinks at dinner, and I was not gonna. I still, my husband still teases me about that all the time, because his family history is Dutch and Jewish. So they're a little bit like they're not, I mean, they can be expressive, but I'm on another level. Like drinks will fly if I'm talking about
Hey
something.
sister, I feel you.
Yeah. It's just it's another level, but it's I've always felt that I'm grateful for growing up in a house where yes, every emotion could be expressed and it was okay,
Yeah.
and and everybody could just take that for what it was and move on to the next thing. They didn't honestly, I don't know. I went to, you mentioned a little bit of therapy too. I've been through it. I've been through all these same anxiety struggles, the same depression struggles. And yet, what was ironic was my father didn't question me about it. He was like, you know what? I get that that's a lot of emotion. So do what you need to do.
Yeah.
It was more about just take care of it than dwelling on it too much. And
Yeah.
I think that's kind of that's a common attitude that I think we have.
Yeah. Probably most people don't know how to deal with it, with
Yeah.
people in their family dealing with it. So I think they just go ahead with, okay, you have anxiety, relax, try to relax. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
the point. That's not how it works. Actually, the fact that I'm thinking about it makes me anxious,
Mhm.
and not thinking, it just is such a very complicated mechanism, and only who suffers from it can understand. And also some stigma that I have to talk about, if you allow me to.
Mhm.
No, sometimes, or most of the times, people don't want to, they just want to feel, they just want to express what they're feeling. So
Mhm.
you don't have to necessarily say a good thing. You're a good friend. If your friend suffers, you just, you're a good friend even if you don't say anything.
Mhm.
You don't have to have the right words always in your
Right.
mouth. Like, you can sometimes, you can even just, stay silent and accept and embrace what is
Yes.
going on. So me, as a person who suffered a lot from it, I I don't demand people to come to me and, console me or to make me feel better. I don't really, it's not what I want.
Mhm.
And people feel, I don't know, sometimes entitled to, come to you and tell you, oh, just, oh, no, relax, don't think about it. Just, I don't want you to tell me that I don't have to think about it,
Mhm.
because I have to feel free to think about it. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
this is a very hard to understand mechanism that it's,
Yeah. There's a
you
lot of
know,
people uncomfortable with just sitting in silence
yeah,
or just letting things be what they are, which was always odd to me too because and I don't again, I don't know if this is another Italian connection, but I can do that with my dad. Like we can sit in silence and let things just be what they are, and but it's more about taking your own responsibility for
yeah,
anything that you're going. That's sort of what he raised me as. And I look at other people and they're like, "Ah, I don't know what to do. I have to be talking, I have to be doing something, I have to be interacting, I have to da 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 da." And it's like, no, just worry about yourself.
exactly. They probably need to, they need to feel busy, so
Who knows?
they they probably want to, like, feel the void
Hmm.
sometimes. But the point is that something that my psychotherapist said, that you have to embrace the void sometimes
Hmm.
to feel, complete, because that's, you will never erase that, you will never cancel that, you will never get rid of it. So I know it's starting to feel very deep right now, the conversation. I'm sorry,
Hmm.
but
It's okay.
but
That's what we do here.
but knowing what's going on, awareness is the key
Yes.
to not to survive, because we live, we don't survive, we have to live. We
Hmm.
don't have to survive. So it's I think it's the first, awareness is the first step for us. I consider myself one of this category, to, to feel better, to be yourself, to accept yourself.
Right. Remember that it's important to nurture your own humanity. And that's why taking a chance on something like Flesh God, I mean, huge for you. nurtures who you are as a person. Of
Yeah.
course, I would imagine that it does. We are talking because we're excited for tour. I definitely want to talk about tour too before our time comes to a close. So, what can we expect? What can we get excited about?
Haha. Lots of makeup.
Yes, we're here for that.
I mean, we're touring with Avatar, so there's gonna be a
No,
lot,
yeah, there's
lots of makeup,
we're gonna be
lots
fighting
of.
for space in the dressing room, maybe. Who knows?
Oh, well, I really hope we're not gonna share a dressing room with them. I'm pretty sure we're not, because they're gonna smell our stage clothes.
Right. Okay.
I mean, their. Sorry.
Okay, I get it.
But I have a feeling that even their clothes, after a while, they're gonna, start smelling a little bit
It
like
happens.
brie
Yeah.
cheese or something, but that's disgusting. But yeah, what are you gonna expect from the tour? I don't know if I can say that. We're trying to implement something new for
Oh, okay. A little bit of a
and
tease.
I know that I know for a fact that most of the people that are gonna come to the show, they don't know us because, as many people said, and it's true, it's a different range of, crowd that we're gonna reach with
Different
this tour.
demographic. Hmm.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So hopefully what they're gonna see, is gonna be cool, and I really hope they're gonna enjoy the show itself. There's gonna be a lot of operatic vocals. There's gonna be a lot of grunting, a little bit of a lot of not a lot of bit of. Oh my God, I'm
A
sorry.
lot of grunts. A lot of
A lot of
grunts.
grunts, a
Yes.
lot of
Operatic vocals
me
provided by
saying,
you.
yeah, a lot of bullshit, a lot of jokes, Italian jokes, probably me, panicking because I'm gonna see a shitload of people and just, staying there and I don't know, singing an Italian song for my people.
Oh, good. Well, and
No, I
think
don't
about
know.
it too. Well,
I
and
like
think,
to improvise.
I mean, and I don't know if this helps, but like it's kind of exciting to understand that this is a chance to put yourself in front of new faces too.
Yeah,
And there's potential there.
I
That's
cannot
fun.
wait because I'm pretty sure that people that like Avatar, they will like us. I really
Hmm.
hope this is the case because we have a lot of people say that we don't have much in common, but I'm pretty sure that we have. I think that we have a lot of things in common, sound wise, imaginary wise, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, they're really good people, incredible musicians. So I really can't wait to share the stage with them and to learn new things from them because every time we share stage with bands, bigger or smaller, doesn't
Hmm.
matter. You learn new things in life, in
Yes.
music, in how to live this life, basically.
Yeah. Always important to keep learning. So after tour, going into the future a little bit, please tell me there's plans for another Fleshgod album. What's happening after tour? Have we talked about that yet, or is that too far ahead? Okay, she said, She said, we're not gonna get no. Okay, we're keeping oh Merta, you didn't see nothing, we didn't hear anything.
Are working on it.
Okay. That's good news. Okay. In progress. Stay tuned. Pay
Don't tell
attention to
anybody.
we won't tell anybody. This won't be seen by anybody. They won't know. They won't know. But well, no, but seriously, that is good news. That's great news. So stay tuned to social media. More to come on that, I'm sure. That's great.
I'm sorry, I can't say. I can't.
That's
I
okay.
mean, no,
That's
we're
enough.
working on new stuff for obviously because I mean opera is now what, three, two, is about to be three,
2024? Yeah. If I
two,
have
two.
so it's been
Yeah.
about 2 years. It's
Yeah.
either been 2 years or close to 2 years. So yeah, it's been a minute. So we're ready.
We have a few shots in our magazine. Bam, bam.
Okay. Okay. I can't wait to see it all, Veronica. I could talk to you all day, but I want to be respectful of your time. Thank you so much for being here. It's been amazing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.